It was pretty bizarre. All I'd done on the surface was sit down silently and then suddenly start crying. Today, I want to share with you something that has had a huge impact on my life. We so often talk about growth that can be measured by an external journey, whether that's our fitness, our academic achievements, or exam grades, even things like our subscriber count or how much money we make. But it's so easy for us to overlook the internal journey, and I certainly neglected this for a very long time. A few years ago, I started a journey to actively work on my mind and my mental well-being through meditation. Today, I can confidently sit here and say to you that meditating every day for 600 days has been the single most impactful thing that I've done for my internal world. In this video, I'm going to share with you the reasons to meditate and why it works, my own personal journey and struggles, and finally some actionable practical tips for you to build meditation into your own life. Feel free to skip ahead to the bits that interest you, timestamps below. If you're new here, my name's Izzy, I'm a medical student at Cambridge University, and on this channel we talk about designing lifestyle systems to stay happy, healthy and efficient while studying. Let's get into the video. Meditation is one of the most potent ways that we can directly shape and change our own mind. Our brain's wiring is not fixed, it's very much adaptable, able to learn new skills or adapt to new situations thanks to a property called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity can be defined as the capacity of the nervous system to continually change, evolve, and adapt in response to life experiences. This is most prominent in babies and young people, but it's really present throughout life. A baby's mind is sometimes referred to as a tabula rasa, which means a blank slate. From here, our minds grow based on what they receive from the outside world. Every single moment that we are experiencing the world, we are building our own minds. I think this is just so incredible and also so powerful once we realize it, because through recognizing this fact and directing our attention, we can actively choose how we want to cultivate our minds. This isn't just in terms of skills or knowledge, but also in terms of the very fundamental way that your mind works. I like to think of mental training in two main categories. The first category being training in our mental agility, skills, or knowledge, essentially increasing the output of our minds in some way. Think of preparing for an exam, learning a language, learning an instrument, or doing Sudokus if that's your thing. The second category of mental training is forming the way that our mind works, whether this is the flow of our thoughts, our emotional responses, essentially the actual processing of our mind. We often view the mind almost as a black box, where there's an input, a processing, and then an output. And it's sometimes easy to feel like the processing is just an innate thing that we don't really have very much control over. But by training the mind in this second category, we can start to subtly edit this processing that happens and hopefully cultivate a quality of mind that helps us to lead happier lives. It seems so natural to us to train the physical body to maintain our physical health. And just like we have a responsibility to take care of our bodies, we also have a responsibility to take care of our minds for the benefit of ourselves, but also everyone else around us. For me personally, meditation has probably been the single most powerful way of harnessing this neuroplasticity and engage actively with training my mind. Meditation has gone mainstream over the last few years, and we hear a lot about its benefits, including making us more resilient to stress, reducing anxiety, and also helping us to live more in the present moment. When I didn't know anything about meditation other than you're meant to sit still for an extended period of time doing nothing, it actually sort of sounded a little bit pointless and frankly like a little bit of a waste of time. But I kept hearing about all the benefits that even just 10 minutes a day of meditation has. I thought, why not? I literally have no excuse to not try this. So personally, I started meditation as a way to reduce stress and also learn to manage negative emotions. Studying medicine at Cambridge can be a little bit overwhelming at times, and I wanted to find a way to process this pressure to feel calmer and more centered and a bit more intentional and focused. My mind often wanders off easily, and sometimes it feels like I have several trains of thought all running at the same time, and I felt like I wanted to be able to calm this down a little bit and be able to really direct my focus so that I could study more efficiently. And even though this was the reason that I started, it wasn't the reason that I continued to meditate, because what I didn't expect was all the other benefits that meditation would bring to my life. One of the most valuable concepts that meditation has brought to me is this idea of finding finding equanimity. Equanimity can be defined as an evenness of mind which is maintained even under stress, a state of mental composure and stability that is undisturbed by external experiences and sensations. While feelings and emotions are so human and such a valuable part of life, sometimes negative emotions can do more harm than good. Through meditation and finding this sense of equanimity, working towards that, striving towards it, I can feel less worried about things, less easily stressed, and generally more gracefully and lovingly handle these negative emotions. Some days I would find meditation really hard, and just sitting with myself feeling so uncomfortable in my own head, sometimes even feeling very emotional. For example, the first time I did a Metta Bhavana meditation. Metta Bhavana can be translated as the cultivation of loving kindness, and it's a specific practice where you visualize generating this sense of metta, of loving kindness for yourself and others. So when I sat to do this type of meditation for the first time, I found myself overwhelmed by discovering a huge lack of self-compassion within myself. I realized that I wasn't kind to myself. It was pretty bizarre because all I'd done on the surface was sit down silently and then suddenly start crying. But on the inside, I had started to look at the way that I relate to myself and also others, finding a lot of ways in which my emotional tank was empty. When I look back at the person I was 3 years ago, I feel like such a different person. I feel like I've become more balanced and self-aware, more intentional and focused. Overall, I felt more able to skillfully navigate negative experiences or thought patterns. I also feel like I understand myself and others better because I'm able to exist more fully in the present moment rather than running off thinking about the past or the future. And I think something that I used to do a lot was thinking without realizing I was thinking. So just being absolutely carried off by a train of thought without really being aware of that. I also feel less easily stressed by things. More and more, I believe it will be okay in the end. Having heard about the experiences of other people and also my own personal experiences, I really strongly believe that literally everyone should try meditation for at least a week. I just wish that meditation had been introduced to me at an earlier age. So if you'd like to get started, here are my top tips on how you can fit meditation into your own life. Most importantly, you don't need to meditate for long to experience benefits. Spending literally just 5 minutes per day is so much better. It's like 1,000 times better than doing no meditation at all. Additionally, one of the best things about meditation is that you can pretty much do it anywhere. The things that you don't need are, you don't need a perfectly quiet and peaceful retreat, you don't need to be sitting down or in any specific position, and you don't need an extended amount of time. Even just a few minutes on your commute could do, whether that's on the bus or the train. Maybe just don't try it while driving or operating heavy duty machinery, but other than that, you're pretty much good to go. My personal favourite meditation apps are Waking Up with Sam Harris and Headspace. During lockdown, I also did a lot of live Zoom meditation sessions with the London Buddhist Centre. There are a bunch of other great apps too, and also free meditations on YouTube that you can always tune into. I'll pop a link to all my favourite resources in the description box below. And I'd also like to say, if you try one style of meditation and you didn't enjoy it, don't give up on meditation completely. Try something else, try another style. There are so many different styles of meditation, and it's about finding the one that works for you. Ultimately, meditation should serve you and your own life. So finding a style and schedule that works for you is the absolute key to consistency. If meditation is something that you've been thinking of maybe doing, feel free to take this as a sign to just get started and just do it. I can honestly say that meditation is the ultimate tool that has helped me to nurture acceptance and growth within myself. When I meditate, I feel kinder, calmer, happier, more balanced, more at peace with things just as they are, and I'm less quick to judge experiences as good or bad. It just is what it is. This practice has allowed me to take a little bit more responsibility for my own very imperfect and flawed human mind. As cheesy as it sounds, meditation genuinely changed my life, and it's a practice that I hope to keep up for a very long time. If you enjoyed this video, I think that you might like this video over here, where I talk about how meditation and mindfulness really helps me to sleep better at night. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourself, and remember that the journey is the destination. Good luck.